Welcome to episode 5 of Stephanie's Company. Our guests are Annette Calderon and Bernadette
Murphy
from the St. Joseph Social Service Center in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Christmas is about holidays, about family, and I decided we wanted to do a platform of giving, and we came up with the coat drive. And when I decided to do the coat drive, I was looking for an organization that was in Union County, close by, that can, help me with the vision I was putting together. So I called the Elizabeth Coalition Homeless Shelter in Elizabeth, New Jersey, who patched me through to the St. Joseph Social Center in Elizabeth, and that's how I connected with Annette. Yes. And what's funny about it, Annette is from Union, New Jersey. I would like you to start off first. Tell a little about yourself. What do you do at the center? Mm-hmm. And then we'll get into about what projects, what things that they have to offer for the community.
So I'm the director at St. Joseph, so I deal with all the things like fundraising and paying the bills and making sure the place runs on a day-to-day basis, thankfully with the partnership of Annette and all of our staff and our volunteers. We have a very small staff. We have about 13 people, only 3 are full-time, and we have the equivalent of another 20 people who volunteer for us. That would be 20 full-time positions if we counted up all the volunteer hours. So it's pretty incredible what happens there.
And Annette?
So my part at St. Joseph Social Service is I am the licensed associate counselor there, so I do counseling all day, every day, and I help Bernadette here organizing what the activities are at the center.
So what is a day in the center like?
Could I maybe describe our programs and the services we offer? So essentially we work in partnership with the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless, and we help people who are poor and homeless with the goods and services they need to live with dignity. So we have a food program at St. Joseph's. We have a health services program, so people who can't afford their medication. Those services are really limited to people who live in Elizabeth, but all of our volunteers come from throughout Union County as well as beyond. So food program, health services program, we have a job training program which is open to any adult who's actively seeking employment, and that's a 5-week class that teaches people computer skills, practice interviewing, writing their resume, etc. We have a holiday program which is incredible. We had a tractor trailer arrive at the center today full of gifts for 300 families. We already had almost 200 senior citizens and single people's gifts already ready to go. We were distributing those out today. And we get clothing and household items donated also throughout the day. So that's what St. Joseph's deals with. And then the coalition is, and I'm sorry, because I forgot to mention, we also offer mental health counseling, thanks to Annette. Okay. So basically we try to help the whole person. And if the clients have housing issues, then the coalition works with those folks. And some of their funding is countywide, so they are able to help in some instances a broader range than people who live in Elizabeth. But for St. Joseph's, it's the food program and the medicine program that are limited to Elizabeth residents.
We also have the soup kitchen on Saturdays, and during our soup kitchen, we maybe serve like 150 to 200 people on one Saturday, maybe in 3 hours, from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. That's how many people we service on one Saturday. Yes.
And anyone who's hungry can come for soup kitchen.
Anybody could come and eat, yes.
Wow. And then you'll take on more people if they wanted to volunteer. They will just contact you guys to just get involved.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a volunteer on our website is SJ. If you just Google us, you'll find us. But it's sjeliz.org. And there's a volunteer email on there, so we have someone who checks those emails, and then we try to, find opportunities for people. Actually, it's one of our biggest problems sometimes is having enough opportunities for all the people that want to volunteer. Yeah, which is a great situation to be in.
Christmas time, you guys probably get overwhelmed with gifts. Sometimes like you get so much in Christmas, would it be better for people to come down like during the year instead of always just on holiday season?
Yes, and that's actually Thanksgiving, although we're so grateful for all of the support that happens. Thanksgiving we gave out almost 700 bags of food, and it's wonderful and all the donations come in, but we sometimes can't help but think, people are hungry in April and July and August also. So spreading it out throughout the year is very welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. I noticed when I looked online, I saw the sandwich programs that you also offer on. Is that also on Saturdays too?
No.
It's all every day during the week.
Every day.
Every day during the week, we offer sandwiches to whoever comes through the door. Could just pick up a sandwich and go home or go to work with a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they just come inside and just get.
They just come in and just have a sandwich. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a great volunteer opportunity. And I mean, yesterday we just ran out of sandwiches, and we were giving people some, bread and bagels, and that was what was available. And the next thing you know, in through the door came a business from Cranford, and they had 10 loaves of sandwiches for us, and it was just. That's how it works at St. Joseph's. It's amazing that, and we wish we didn't have to be there. We wish the need wasn't there. But we also feel a need for people who want to give. And we have a lot of support from all kinds of different groups out in the community. The groups that run the soup kitchens tend to bring their own groups of volunteers. And actually some of them, I think I was saying in our pre-meeting, some of the folks that were at our very first soup kitchen meeting 32 years ago are still helping today. They started coordinating the program, which is a good thing, but sometimes it's hard to get a spot open to volunteer. So we're looking at trying to create more of those sorts of opportunities, but we do have a limited number of spots available on Saturdays, and for that we ask that the children be older than 14.
Older, okay.
Older than 14. We have guidelines on the website that just give you an idea how to do that, but making a little care package. Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops will make little care packages that we can give to a client that comes in the door, and maybe it has a granola bar, a bottle of water, those sorts of things. And then actually at Christmas is a time when some younger folks, I wouldn't say 4 or 5, but with your parent, what we just had happen at the Giving Tree is what we call it. All the gifts were assembled and checked in Cranford at a site that used to be the Little Gym. A realtor let us use that site, thankfully. And we had hundreds of volunteers in there who were making sure everybody in the family got a gift that was the right size and age appropriate, and added some toiletries to that. So it's really a beautiful thing that happens at Christmas.
Most rewarding thing that you have done or seen at the shelter at the center that you can share with everybody, because it's like me giving or just helping, it brings such a joy to me.
Every day I feel that it is a rewarding moment every time I am in that center. They have a need for clothing or sneakers or a backpack or even that sandwich, and you hand this sandwich or sneaker to a person and you could see their faces just light up. That is very rewarding to me.
When I started working at St. Joseph's, it was almost 6 years ago, and I started in our job program. And we had one individual who had come into that program even before I got there, and she was a hardworking woman who raised her kids and had 2 small jobs, one time I think for UPS, and another time at the USPS, at the post office. So she was looking for work, and I am not kidding, we must have helped her fill out, I don't know, over the course of 2 or 3 years, multiple job applications. But it was, you don't want to say to someone who's raised their kids that they don't have skills, that they don't have value, right? That they don't have something to contribute. Long story short, I still have the voicemail she left me the day she called me to tell me that she got a job.
Aww,
and
nice.
she did. I actually have a couple voicemails on my phone of people who got jobs, because that's helping them find the confidence to move forward.
What we're going to do right now is ask them if anyone in the audience have any questions to talk to you guys about. So do we have any questions out there really quick for Annette or Bernadette? Right there.
If I wanted to create my own care packages and donate, is that doable? If when it comes to my husband is a mentor to kids that are between the ages of 12 and 17, boys and girls. But it comes to mind for the girls like a hygiene package.
Absolutely.
Do you have teenagers and young kids that flow through the doors?
We do, or their parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And number 2, do you have, how do I want to say it, bed, do they sleep there?
We're not a shelter.
Okay.
The coalition, the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless, provides services, emergency assistance to people, but that might mean helping them even with a motel voucher for a night, or referring them or helping them advocate with a landlord. And the coalition has some transitional housing units where they'll help people with up to a few months' rent to get back on their feet. In the winter, they do have an emergency program called Operation Warm Heart, and that they do go out to different churches and community groups, and that is definitely something the coalition, I'm sure, would be happy to talk about with you too, that does need volunteers to host those guests.
Any other questions? Straight in the back.
What made you guys want to do something like this?
I went to school and I became a counselor. And I did my internship at St. Joseph. But once I was at St. Joseph, I knew that's where I wanted to work. So even though before I was offered that job, in my mind I said if they could only hire me. So when I did my internship there, I was offered a job there and I said yes, and that's why I'm there. So that's where life took me. Yeah.
It's where, to me, it's also a matter of faith, and I truly think God put me there and put me in the right place at the right time. But Sister Jacinta Fernandez and Edie Cheney were the founders of St. Joseph's, and Sister Jacinta was known as the Mother Teresa of Elizabeth, and she actually preferred to be referred to as the Dorothy Day of Elizabeth. And my favorite quote about Dorothy Day was that she comforted the afflicted and afflicted the comfortable, and trying to establish, Jacinta told some homeless people who were asking her for help to go knock on the mayor's door because he was denying that there were any homeless people in the city of Elizabeth. This is many years ago. The relationship improved greatly over time. Long story, Jacinta had been featured in a Star Ledger article actually in 2006 that I had always saved. I was volunteering with literacy volunteers at the time, and I thought, oh, maybe we could do some partnership with St. Joseph's. And when I was ready to go back to doing some part-time work, there was an ad in my church bulletin for the assistant coordinator of the Project Ready job training program, and that was almost 6 years ago. And as you can see, I can't stop talking, and so I guess I talked my way into Jacinta's role when she was ready to step down. She doesn't use the word retire, because that's not her thing. She's 83 and now working with refugees in Baltimore. So
Yes.
Do we have any more questions?
Like what you guys do for people is so awesome. You guys are human too, so
Yes.
you guys get tired too. What keeps you guys going?
that's a good question, especially today. We were unloading trucks today. What keeps us going? I really think for me, it's the spirit and I had a corporate career. I stayed home with my kids. I did a lot of volunteer work. I just work with the most amazing people. Some of them get paid, and some of them, and we all, even those of us that get paid, we're obviously not in it for the money. But the amazing people that volunteer, that want to help, it's just incredible that the people have the spirit and want to help each other. And St. Joseph's is a bridge, you know, it's a bridge, not a wall.
No.
A bridge that brings people who have together with those who don't.
It's the same thing, working with amazing people, knowing that I'm gonna wake up every day to do amazing things. I'm never tired. I'm always ready to go there. I never come home complaining. So it's just my spirit and the spirit of the people that we work in, and I know that tomorrow is another day to do good. So I wake up ready for that.
And I just want to add too, you know, the people we serve, the clients, they are what lift us and give us hope and spirit. You know, we learn just as much from them every day as they do from us, and we really try, and sometimes we don't do this as well as we would like, right?
Yeah.
But you know, everyone that comes in that door is treated with dignity and respect, and we want to have that we all share a common humanity, and that's what we aim to experience there. So we really try to learn from each other.
I want to thank Annette and Bernadette for both coming out tonight to share with us on the services that offered at St. Joseph's Social Services in Elizabeth. Thank you for coming to my couch today.
Thanks for having us.
I hope we can work again soon, and I think I have another project coming up
Sure.
soon. So I look forward to working with you guys again. I want to just say at this time, I want to thank everyone for their donations for these beautiful coats. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I mean, these coats are awesome. Everyone that just came by and just dropped their coats off and who stayed to hear the show tonight. On behalf of Stephanie's company, we wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. With love, this is a perfect time for the year for the giving back and enjoying your time with your family. Get your snacks back, coming soon. Look out for that soon in January. Follow about fashion walkthrough runway on February. She's here though, Miss Tiana Knight, and look out for her. Okay. Stephanie's company. God bless. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.